What's good, everybody? It's Jay Coffee Talk. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, the like, all that good stuff. But check it out, man. I just heard this interview with hip hop icon, legend, Bizzy Bone. You know, we all know Bizzy Bone, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Most definitely legends in the hip hop game in my book. And, I'll put the link to that video in the description. But check it out. This is what I found interesting. You know what I mean? Dude interviewing Bizzy Bone asked him, yo, did you listen to Eminem's new album, Music to Be Murdered By? And, Bizzy Bone, he said, yeah. He said, he rocked with the album. He thought it was dope. But, was saying he respects that M, is off the drugs and still putting out good music, ultimately as an artist, he can still be creative, without the drugs and sobering up and all that. But the real interesting part of the interview that I really thought was cool was Bizzy Bone said, Eminem's my cousin through hip hop. He's my cousin. He's my cousin. That type of cousin you don't get to see all the time. You know what I mean? And you don't really want to reach out to them. Like, you feel like you might be bothering them, but you respect him. He's your cousin. And what he, the way he was saying through the family tree is because, Bone Thugs came through Eazy-E, put them on, you know what I'm saying? And M got put on by Dre. So I thought that was interesting when you break that down and look at, that family tree in that way, going all the way back to NWA, in the early stages with gangster rap and all that. I was like, man, that's really something to think about, right? So if we look at that way, right, who else is there? Get in the comments and share, people, that I might be missing, because I'm just freestyling this, throwing this out there, right? So through Dre, through Aftermath, people that Dre put on, Eve was actually, through Aftermath before she went over to Rough Riders and came back to Aftermath. I mean, I know nowadays Eve is like, who is Eve, But originally, when I heard Eve with Rough Riders, I thought she was dope. And then she had a track off the Bulworth soundtrack, which was a classic, underrated soundtrack in hip hop, if you ask me. And, that track on Bulworth, she was with Dre. It was called The Eve of Destruction. Then, check this out. Who would be on Eazy's family tree? A lot of people don't even realize this. Black Eyed Peas. You're like, the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, I mean, they turned out to be, known as more of a pop group and everything like that. But originally, they were on Ruthless. At the time, they had a different name. I forget what they were called. And there wasn't no Fergie or none of that. You know what I mean? And odd coincidence, they had a dope track on the Bulworth soundtrack that was called That's the Joint, That's the Jam, Turn It Up, Play It Again. Let's think, who else came through Aftermath? I'm trying to think. Actually, with Aftermath, Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I know originally he's TDE. Not trying to take anything away from that label or anything, because they're nice, man. I really rock with TDE. But, Dre did have something to do with putting on Kendrick. He got that joint deal with Aftermath. And, the rest is history. Some people regard Kendrick as a GOAT. You know what I mean? He's up there in that GOAT conversation. 50 Cent, through Aftermath, Shady, Bishop Lamont. Other people were there, like Busta Rhymes and stuff like that later, but we're talking people who were put on. Joel Ortiz, The Game, you know what I mean? But now, go over to, Eazy-E, the Ruthless side of things. And like I said, then this all goes back to NWA, to begin with. But you got the DOC was, Ruthless Records, Michelle A., originally, before Death Row, Cocaine, Above the Law, so many people. Oh, At Band Clan, I believe that was what the Black Eyed Peas was originally called. Of course, Dresta and BG Knockout, and then through that, then you got other people that Bone put on, with like Thug Line Records or the Mo Thugs family. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of crazy to look back and kind of like a hip hop family tree. You know what I mean? So Bizzy Bone, is like saying, yeah, like M's my cousin through my hip hop family. I thought that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be doing more content on this channel where I'm gonna like interact with other channels, and we're gonna do like podcast type videos. We might post some of them on here or on other platforms, but where we'll talk about things more in a long form, you know what I mean? And it won't just be me, there'll be someone else. We'll be bouncing ideas off each other and chopping it up and talking about all different topics, hip-hop, news, much more, just like on the channel. But yeah, man, that was just cool when I sat back and thought about it, that Bizzy Bone, brought it up that way. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, it gives you a different perspective sometimes when you'll hear certain artists speak on other artists. You know what I mean? Like they have a whole nother way of looking at things, aside from us, the fans sometimes. Like you'll hear an artist compliment another artist and you'll be like, man, I'm surprised he rocks with this dude, or he rocks with that. But you know what I mean? There's different connections and things like that within the industry behind the scenes that we don't see. You know what I mean? But another thing that the dude that did the interview asked Bizzy about was, you know what I mean? What do you think about Eminem? Because he said something about "I'm Music to Be Murdered By" on one of the tracks. Eminem did, like went for the fastest rap again. You know what I mean? Like I don't know who holds that in the Guinness Book of World Records. There's been a lot of discussions about that with Twista, with Bone, with all these different artists, and I don't know who officially holds it. But the point is, why I'm bringing that up is because dude asked Bizzy Bone, like, how do you feel? Because that, like, you guys are one of the originators of like that fast rapping. You know what I mean? And Bizzy was like, yo, I think it's dope the way M did it. Like, I don't know, man. Like, ultimately, I want to see Eminem Bone Thugs collaboration. You feel me? Bone is just, you want to talk about legends. What they did in hip hop was amazing. If you're around my age, I know you definitely remember Bone's heyday. You know what I mean? But I felt like it should have went on longer. You know what I mean? And I know they're still active, touring and everything like that. And I believe they still do make new music. But I want to see them really, really get active. You know what I mean? Like as a group, all the members, not when it's just like 3 of them. You know what I mean? And I had a friend a couple years back, saw them on, they were doing a tour, hitting up a lot of small venues across America, and they were performing just the East 99 and Eternal album. So I thought that was cool. You know what I mean? But I don't know, tap in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know any artists, you know what I mean, that I'm forgetting, or if there's just other examples or like of this in hip hop, like outside of NWA and Aftermath and Ruthless and Interscope and all that, like other situations, where artists put on artists and how they could be related through a hip hop family tree. Definitely, tap in the comments. Let's talk about it. That's what this platform, this channel is all about, kicking it with you guys, the people. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell. Daily videos dropping. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.